Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dave's Math Channel. I'm your host, David Tier, and this is my concluding series on my daily math problems, which I try to post every few days in the Facebook group Classical Mathematics. And I've been doing a series on various types of gambling game scenarios. These are all games of skill involving, three turns at tossing. The last one I did was the simplest possible game like this, was just tossing a fair coin three times. This one's a little bit more complicated. This one involves tossing a fair three-sided die. So anyway, let's begin. So I'll start by reading the problem statement. Here's what it says. So consider the following game involving a pair of three-sided die with sides labeled 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, it is possible to make a fair three-sided die. There are some pretty clever designs for such die. They don't have flat faces, but they are fair three-sided dice. You can find them online. Just thought I'd mention that. Um, so you start by betting $1 and rolling the die. If the die lands on 3, you win back $2, but if it lands on 1 or 2, you have the option of quitting, in which case you win back nothing. If it is landed on 1, or 50 cents if it is landed on 2, or betting another dollar to roll the die a second time, in which case you win $3.25 if it lands on 3, or if not, you once again have the option of quitting, in which case, once again, you win back nothing if it's landed on 1, or 50 cents if it's landed on 2, or you also have the option of rolling again in these cases, but you have to bet a third dollar to continue to the third and final roll, in which case if the die lands on 3, you win back $4.50, but as in the previous two turns, you win back nothing if it lands on 1, or you win back 50 cents if it lands on 2. So then again, like the last problem I gave you, I'm asking if there's a winning strategy to this game. If so, what is it? And how much money can we expect to win per game? So that's the statement problem. And this one's a lot more complicated than the last one I went over. And the reason it is because it turns out there's a lot more possible scenarios for this one. Turns out there's 7 possible strategies rather. Whereas for the fair coin there were only 3. And it turns out I didn't know this when I first was working on this problem. I did solve it. You do it the hard way, doing the 7 strategies. I think I actually came up with the wrong answer doing it because the analysis is very complicated. If you do it that way, you have to go through all 7 possible scenarios and calculate the expected winnings for each one, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But it turns out, as one of my friends showed on Facebook, the guy who solved this problem, I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not sure if he wants to remain anonymous or not. But anyway, what he showed was that you can actually backtrack. There's a simpler method for solving this problem. You could go backwards. You can start at after turn 2. You can basically you don't really have to calculate the complete expected winnings starting from the beginning. You can just because at each stage there's really only 2 options. I mean, after turn 2, if it's landed on 1 or 2, you have the option of either quitting or rolling again. And you only have to look at 2 options for that case. Then you could just choose the one that gives you a higher expected value. Starting with anyway, let's just go through the analysis. That's how you do it. So it's probably better to show you some specific calculations here. So let's start with turn 2. Like I said, we're going backwards. So we're starting with turn 2 rather than turn 1. And like I said, there's 2 possibilities. If the die had landed on 3, there's only one. If the die had landed on 3 at any of the turns, then the game automatically ends. These are the green boxes. And by the way, this flow chart I'm showing you here, I'm going to keep showing the same picture throughout the whole video. This turns out to be the optimal solution. We haven't found it yet, but we can still use this diagram to sort of see what's going on. So, I mean, the part that I think you should notice first, the green boxes here, these are the final nodes where you win something, and these really are final nodes that, regardless of the strategy you're playing by, because if it lands on 3 on any of your turns, first, second, or third turn, the game automatically ends and you win the amount, you net winning for the amount shown in these green boxes. So if it lands on 3 after the first turn, your net winning is $1, because it's 2 minus 1, and then if it lands on 3 after the second turn, it's 125, which is 325 minus 2. And then if it lands on 3 at the end of the game after 3 turns, it's 150, which is 450 minus 3. So I think you can see where these numbers come from. Similarly, the red ones, but I'll get into that later. But right now, we want to look at the level 2. If you like, 2 levels down from start. This is where we are after two turns. And so now we want to concentrate on these black boxes marked 1 and 2. Because for these black boxes, we have the option of either continuing or ending the game. And if we decide to end the game, let's first look at what happens if the die landed on 1 after 2 turns. If we end the game, we know we're going to have lost $2 because we don't win back anything if it lands on 1, and we already spent $2 getting to this turn. So that's an expected winnings of -2 if we ended the game there, which isn't the smart strategy. But then on the other hand, if we continue, then you have to go to the final turn, which is turn 3. And now we can we already know what the payoffs are if we don't get all the way to turn 3. They're given by these red the 2 red boxes on the left and the green box on the right. We just take a weighted average of these winnings, weighted by 1/3 for each one, because that's a probability of getting any of these boxes. So what we're going to get is 3 minus 3 minus 2.5 plus 1.5 all over 3. And when you do this calculation, you get -4/3, which is approximately 1.33. So we can expect to lose $1.33 if we continue. Whereas I just showed that we're going to lose $2 if we stopped at 1. So we conclude that it's better to continue. Our expected payoff is more in that case. So in that case, we can say that our expected winnings, if we had landed on 1 after 2 turns, is now -4/3. Because we did the analysis, we already found what the optimal strategy was for this point on. So this is a useful thing to know. Anyway, let's continue. That's what we would get if the die had landed on a 1. But what if it had landed on a 2 or a 3? Well, then for 2, it's a very similar analysis. Let's do that one first. So again, we have the option of quitting. And if we quit, if it landed on 2, this time we would only lose $1.50 because we win back 50 cents, but we've already paid $2. So our expected winnings in this case, if we quit, is -1.5. But then if we continue, which is exactly the same analysis as the last case, because we're rolling the die again. It doesn't care what it has landed on previously, we roll it again. We already calculated this expected value for going to the third turn. It's -4/3. And since again, -4/3 is greater than -1.5, -4/3 is probably -1.33, that's greater than -1.5. So we conclude once again, this is the best strategy. Roll again. So we concluded that if the die had landed on either one or two at turn two, we're best off rolling a third time. And in each of those scenarios, our expected winnings are -4/3. So anyway, and finally, we have to analyze what happens if the die had landed on three. But if the die had landed on three in turn two, we know that we've automatically won $1.25. That was our net win, which is 5 points. So anyway, that completes our analysis for backtracking to turn two. But we're not done. Now we have to backtrack further to turn one. And it's the same kind of analysis, but now we're using the expected winnings we found for turn two. So I think you can kind of see how this works. We keep working backwards. We just have to work backwards 2 steps from turn two. First we go to turn two, then turn one. So once we're done with turn one, there's just going to be one final calculation we're going to have to do at the very end. But anyway, let's go through this. So again, for turn one, say the die had landed on one after the first roll. And again, we have two options, either ending the game there or continuing. And if we end the game with a roll of one after turn one, we will have lost $1. But if we continue, it's the same kind of analysis as before, except this time we're the numbers in the numerator, the expected winnings, are what we just calculated for turn two. So our formula is our expected winnings if we continue for turn one. If we roll a one, is this 1/3 times the sum a hat 2 1 plus a hat 2 2 plus a hat 2 3. We already calculated those three numbers. So it's 1/3 times -4/3 -4/3 plus 5/4. And if you do this calculation, you find this is equal to -17/36, which is barely, this is bigger than -1. So again, our best course of action for this case is to roll again. We conclude that a hat 1 1 is -17/36. And we still have to do the cases where the die have landed on a 2 or 3 after one roll. And same kind of calculation again. This time the only difference here is if we had ended the game once we rolled a 2 on turn one, now we're going to have our net loss is going to be 50 cents because we paid it out and we won back 50 cents. So a hat 1 2 if we end the game is -0.5. But again, if we continue with the same analysis as before, because once again the die doesn't care about what it last landed on if we roll it again. So we're going to get the same expected winnings if we continue, which is -17/36, or approximately -0.47. This is just barely bigger than -0.5. But again, it's bigger. So we conclude, again, our best course of action for turn one, if the die had landed on 1 or 2, is to continue. So the upshot of all this is continue whenever you can. That's the best strategy. So we're basically done with our analysis now of what to do. We found the optimal strategy. And now there's just one last thing we have to do here. And that's, just wrap everything up. I mean, we already calculated all the expected values we need after one turn. That's all you need to calculate the total expected value. It's just the weighted sum, a hat 1 1 plus a hat 1 2 plus a hat 1 3, because those are your expected winnings after one turn if it land on a 1, 2, or 3, respectively. And we already calculated these numbers, but a hat 1 1 and a hat 1 2 are both equal to -17/36, and a hat 1 3 is equal to 1. So we just take this weighted sum. If you do the math, you get 1/54, which is approximately 0.019, which is about 1.9 cents. So what we conclude is that if we play this game with the optimal strategy, we can expect to win about 1.9 cents each time we play. It's not a lot, but it is positive. And if you knew this strategy, you could beat the house. Uh, put it that way. So that concludes this video. A little more complicated gambling game than the fair coin toss, and I guess it's the next possible simple scenario. But anyway, that concludes my video for today. So thank you for watching. Long live math, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.